And so you tuned in with me, Nykole Tyson. I missed you guys. We discussed how we can make it happen in our minds, bodies, finances, business, and culture, despite the inevitable and not so pleasant challenges. And that is to ultimately shift our mindsets and allow us to realize that we have the ability to improve and maneuver every single day. And that as long as we show up, that is 100% the grade, you know, showing up despite the challenges. And I will be with you today. It feels like a while. And I do want to get some updates from you, the community, and the last conversation we had. And then also speak on some other things before the month is end. Can you believe we're in March? So of course I want to say good morning to everyone in USVI, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, the British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, and anywhere you are in the Caribbean. Thanks so much for tuning in, as well as all those listening live on reefbroadcasting.com from the east to west coast. And anywhere you all know in the world, we appreciate you. And good morning to those watching live or that we're recording on Facebook and I'm Making It Happen. Good morning and welcome. Please do like and share at I'm Making It Happen on Facebook. And thanks for tuning in each and every Wednesday. I was not here last week, Wednesday, but I did miss you guys. And I look forward to having the conversation today. And again, I do appreciate those who have stuck in and listened or, waited for me to come on. As I mentioned, it was a learning curve this morning. As you know, Mr. Williams is not here. And usually the board is set up for me and everything. As you know, I do the board myself now, but I learned how to switch it. So maybe next time I'll be able to do it a little bit faster. And that's what is making it happen, not giving up and continuing despite the challenges. And so I would like to get an update from you, the community, on, that town hall. When it happened, I didn't see anything about it online. Maybe did, and I was just really busy. I was traveling, so it was a very hectic schedule that I had. So I don't know the results of that town hall meeting. So if somebody would like to update me on that. Oh, regarding the Prosperity Farm, I believe that's the name, and what happened with the findings. So I'd like to get an update on that. And then I'm going to talk about as well just about Black History Month. It's the last day of, it's not the last day of the month, but it is going to be the last week before we get into March, and then we get into VI history. And I wanted to mention about, how we are creating Black history. We look at it as something behind us. And hold on, just getting messages in. Something behind us, that we are remembering. But we have to know that we are creating history. We will be part of history at some point. And so how are we living on creating that? So I'm going to talk about that. If you do want to call in, of course, the phone line 340-719-7435, 340-719-7436. And again, thanks so much for tuning in. Let's see. I wanted to give an update as well as my trip. So I was in Atlanta, and it was very cool. I hadn't been in Atlanta. Well, I've been in Atlanta a few times, but when I've been in Atlanta, it's been like in and out, very specific, which I was again, but I had some a couple days downtime. And it was really cool. Atlanta is very advanced in the technology. I traveled a lot to many states, but it seems, and maybe I just need to try. Yeah, because I was in New York not too long ago. It seems like Atlanta is leading the way in technology. So there was, and I'm gonna do some stuff online on my page to show the different things. But there was I know you've heard of it, the self-driving cars. It's called Waymo in Atlanta. And basically you see a lot of these cars that do not have a driver, but people are using it. And it's in the downtown area of Atlanta. I didn't see it on like the freeways or whatever like that. They had that. And then they have like these this electronic board where you just go and you touch the screen. It's like 6 feet tall, and you touch the screen and it tells you everything you can do, where to sightsee foods, and they break down the foods in like 30 different categories, from African to European to just American burgers, and just as many types of cultures there are, they had the specific categories, and then you had the restaurants underneath that, and then how to get to it. So when you click on it, just like how you go online, it tells you walking distance. So I guess it was everywhere within the downtown area, which was very cool. So I stood there and I, just played around with it because I was just walking different places and decided and saw this screen, huge screen. So that was pretty interesting. I didn't get to drive in didn't get to drive in the self. I was very skeptical about that. The self-driving cars. Maybe I'll do that at some point, but in a small area. But I don't really trust that. I'd rather pay somebody to drive me. But it was very interesting. And so those in Atlanta, very cool. They're leading the way in technology. It just seemed like everywhere. Oh, the major thing was exciting. And I saw these robots. They had these robots on the sidewalks, and even crossing the street. They know how to cross the street. These little robots that I guess they deliver food. I don't know what they have in the container, but they all have their own names. And even one I saw said Nykole, but they all have their own names, and they are all over the city delivering I don't know what. And they stop at the stoplights, they stop at the red lights, they cross the street, they stop when there's obstruction in front of them, and they try to figure out a way to go around it. And I took a couple of videos of those. So that was amazing. So those are three aspects of technology that Atlanta is using. And I found it very interesting because I traveled to many states and I had never seen those, robots or whatever they call them, up and down the city. Oh, and then many people have these scooters that's all over the place. So they have so many things happening in Atlanta, which is amazing. Amazing. And I do appreciate that. So we have a call and take it. You're in the air. Thanks for calling. Good morning. Good morning.
I just tuned into your show. Do you realize that Miami has that same robot? If you're talking about like a human farm in robot, are you talking about a robot that looks like a little cooler?
Yeah, it looks like a little cooler.
Well, Miami has that.
Okay, cool.
That's where I saw it first.
Yeah? When? How long ago? Because the last time I was in Miami, it was last February. So when was it? When did you see it?
Frequently, and I saw it, and I was, a matter of fact, if I had a way of sending the picture to you, I would have sent it.
You can.
I found it was just so amazing seeing that thing. And as you say, it finds a way. It stops at the stoplight and it finds a way to go around the traffic. So Miami has it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll give you my there's a number you could text me that picture. If you have a pen. Let me pull aside. Hold on.
Oh, you're driving. Okay.
And it's like a white-looking, cream-looking, the one that I saw.
Let me look at my pictures. Hold on. And they have the name. Let me tell you also the cars. I saw the cars while you're pulling over. 'Cause I want you to be safe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pulled over.
Okay, the number is 857.
Oh Lord.
Let me remember my number. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 857-575.
I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
575. 2865. And you can text me. So I'll say it again. 857-575-2865.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, and thanks for your call. And just wanted to also mention, thanks for your input in that. So yeah, the last time I was in Miami was I believe when I was like not going through an airport, but physically stationed there for a couple days, was last February. So you might have it now, right? So great. Let me see the picture that I have. Yeah, this robot is amazing. I tried to talk to it. I just want them to actually be able to talk back. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I figured, I was like, hey, do you want me to help you? And I tried to help it. I said, well, let me see if I can help it, maneuver, and it wouldn't budge. Yes, I don't know if somebody's directing it, like a robot, somebody's behind the like a switchboard, not a switchboard, but maneuvering it, or just doing it by itself. But I think it's amazing. Okay, you're on the air. Thanks
for
calling.
In the Brickell area in Miami, whatever you call that place, the Brickell area.
The which area?
I think it's Brickell. That's the name.
Brickell. You said Brickell, Miami.
That's some place. It was maybe Federal, someplace along that area downtown.
How many did you see? Did you see a lot or just
picture?
Or one or two? Can you hear me? Hello?
What you said?
I said, did you see a lot? Or did you just see a few, like one or two?
If I did what?
Did you see a lot of the robots, the cooler robot?
Well, I just saw that one because I was standing there to cross the road and I just saw it. And I was like, let me take some pictures.
Awesome.
And that was around 2024.
Really?
Yeah, because we're in 26. So it wasn't last year. It was like the year before.
Oh, wow.
Okay. College in whatever. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so that's wild. I didn't see it I was there in 2025. All right, so that's amazing. So yeah, they were all over Atlanta. I'm looking for my picture right now. So like it's white and it has green on it. I took a lot of pictures and videos. I wish I could get this up. Maybe we could get this up on the screen. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to let's see if I could do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. So we could get this up on the screen. Yeah, so it was amazing being in Atlanta, seeing these robots. Well, this one is called DepW, and I was trying to talk to it. And the thing is, okay, so this is a robot, right? But then you have the self-driving cars. I saw the self-driving car stop at a walkway and let somebody walk across the street. It can see all these things, and it stopped. There was no other cars there. There was somebody standing at the crosswalk, and they stopped and let the person cross. I could not believe it. I said no, and there was nobody in the car for that one. I took a video of it. And so the technology is there, and Atlanta has embraced all of it. A self-driving car, the robots, whatever they're delivering, I have no idea, but they're delivering something. They all have names. And then that was 1, 2, it was like 4 things I saw. And then what else? Oh yeah, this big board that you can touch screen it, and it just tells you where to go for all the restaurants in walking distance. And there's a supermarkets, and it just was a very interesting seeing all of it. So yeah, definitely big up to Atlanta with all of that. I was in New York. In October, November, and I didn't see those things in Manhattan. Maybe I didn't stay around that long. Maybe I just was driving through. But let me see, I was in Long Island. I think between Long Island and Manhattan, I had not seen those things. So it was amazing. So I just wanted to share that, my experience there with the self-driving cars, the robots that are delivering I don't know what, and the other technologies that is being embraced there. I was thinking, how can these things be used on St. Croix? I said, well, these potholes with these uneven roads, I don't think those robots could really work on St. Croix. So yeah, I was thinking how and it was very, very interesting. I would like to know the origin of that, where they're coming from and where they're going. I was actually thinking I should follow the vehicle. I mean the robot, but I okay, see there. Yeah, it's on the screen. So if you're online on my Facebook, you'll see the picture of it right now on the screen. I'm going to send another one. Well, this is a video. It's taking a long time. Let me see if I could get another one up on the screen. But I was following it a lot. Let's see, what was the name of this one? Hold on. You might be able to hear me.
Excuse me.
Yeah, this one was Depu.
What did it say?
It was on delivery.
What do you want? You want me to help you?
Yeah, I was asking if you could help.
It said push on something.
This is a video that I had. If you could hear the audio.
Something.
Yeah, you could hear it. I was trying to help one.
Okay.
It's called
trying to help. This is the
Serve Robotics.
Oh,
it started to move.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'll turn it this way so you guys can hear it. See it? And it just started moving and got out of I guess I was bothering it, and it went on its way.
Be moving these things.
So if you can hear it, this is what I'm talking. I'm seeing these, and it's two robots at one time.
And then that's Karina.
Yeah, there was the Karina and
Karina
Depu.
stopped too. Karina got stuck. What's up with Karina?
Yeah, Karina got stuck.
Karina is on duty, but Karina got stuck. This is so wild. Okay, anyway.
So yeah, that's in Atlanta.
Come on, let's see.
If you're online, you'll see this video.
I want to see it do this.
But if you're on the radio, you hear the audio. So yeah, that was
delivering food.
It was just amazing.
I like to see where it's going.
I didn't have time to follow it, but next time.
All right,
Deepu crossed the road when the light turned green. All right. So that was amazing. All right, so that was one of the. Okay, yes, I got the message from the individual that called. Let's see. I need to doctor, so I will look. Okay, great. Got the message, and I look forward to seeing your video or your picture. So I got the text. We'll look forward to it. We'll look. So I'm messaging the lady that called. Look forward to seeing it. Okay. All right. So like I said, I do. Please register. It looks like I can't text back, but I did get the message. I look forward to receiving it. Yeah. So like I do respond. I do get the messages. All right. Let's see. So that was my. In China, they do drone deliveries. Oh, really? So somebody's messaging me saying in China they do drone deliveries. Drone deliveries. Put up a picture of that if possible. Also, what I heard is that in China, talking about China, that they do pickups of people in drones, but no, they like live pick them up and they take them up in the air. I don't know how true, but they were talking about that when I was in Atlanta. So it's there. It's interesting. I don't know if I'll ever do the self-driving car, but it was cool to see. I might do it in a short space, and they have to let me turn on the window so I could jump out the window if I need to. But yeah, they said they don't. None of the cars for the self-driving look like you could turn on. Nobody ever had the window down, so I don't like that because I think they also lock the doors, and that's not cool. Another thing that let me see. There's something else I wanted to mention, but anyway, that was my my experience, and that was a lot of fun to see that. If you get this up, the China deliveries, put it up, and we'll love to show that. So I'm going to take a break, and when I get back, I'm going to talk about. Oh yes, again, I want if somebody could give me an update on the town hall for Prosperity Farm. I guess I could look it up, but that'd be great to know what was the thoughts or what happened there. The number of you, as you know, 340-71, I mentioned already, 340-719-7435 or 340-719-7436. All right. Oh, there it is on the screen. It's called Kita Drone. And then what? They deliver food? That's wild. Well, you know, the other countries are more advanced. When I was in England, when I came out of college, I realized that America was not as advanced as I thought, as we think. Many of these countries have, so saying what Atlanta has or Miami has or whatever other states might have, imagine these other countries, they have these times 10. When I was in England for like 3 months. And when I was there, this is before, I'm dating myself, before the phones, let me think, not phones, but before we were using phones like for everything. I was in England and traveling through England, different places at a time. I actually went to the New York Film Academy school there for a bit. And they had phone booths. No, sorry. They had internet booths. So when we still had phone booths, for the kids that don't know that, what phone booths are, when we had phone booths in America, this when I had just in the early 2000s, they had internet booths. And then I had a cell phone. England had internet booths. And then I had a cell phone, and my cell phone had one phone. It was one phone with two phone numbers, connected to it. And in America at that time, you had to have two different phones. So they were advanced in that, and so many other things that they had. They had like cafes in their libraries, with, of course, internet. I mean, with like huge rooms with the computers and so much more. So when we think that America is, we are in advance, no, these other countries are doing amazing things as well. You're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Nykole.
Good morning.
This is Charles.
Hi, Miss Charles.
I'm calling to give you your update on town hall meeting and the hearing.
Okay, great. Thank you. What happened?
I so wish that you could have come to the town hall meeting. It was very, very good.
Okay.
Disappointed in the turnout nonetheless, but...
What you mean disappointed in the turnout, meaning that people didn't... Sorry. What you mean disappointed in turnout, meaning people didn't come out? You say you were disappointed in the turnout.
I think we should have had a bigger audience with such a major issue, of course.
How many people was there? About
our whole island.
About how many people was there?
I think 30-something.
Really?
Maybe more, but yeah, at least that's who signed the sign-in sheet.
Oh, wow.
We had 4 senators there, which was very good. They were educated on the issue.
Okay.
So, yeah. But again, if the public asks for it, we are willing and would love to present it again because it needs to be presented.
Okay.
We had the public hearing on the 19th.
That was Friday?
That went well. I think we sort of won a battle, but we haven't won the war simply because our senators, we know, is considering amendments.
Mm-hmm.
And the people of the Virgin Islands, per 941 signatures on the ground and 100 and change online at change.org, that's over 1,000 signatures, said I don't want it, period.
Don't want what specifically? They don't want what?
Bill 36-0211, which allows distilleries on agricultural land and residential land.
Okay.
That was the point of the petition. That's the point of this whole battle, to stop this bill that our Governor Albert Bryan requested to allow these distilleries on A1 and A2, that's agricultural land, and residential R1 and R2 land. So this is where the fight stemmed from.
Okay.
So when I say we won a small battle, but not the war, is that apparently the senators don't 100% understand the implications of a distillery and agricultural land, and also the one that's operating so close to the beach and is presently polluting the beach. So our position is leave our laws the way, our zoning laws the way they are. Don't add no additional use, and have, if anybody wants to open a distillery, they go and purchase a piece of property or lease a property on the existing areas that allow them. That's our I2 and even W2. That need to change because those areas are close to the sea. You should not have a distillery close to the sea, which is a polluter. Okay? So our position is not to amend the bill. And they're going to amend it and talk about treatment, and the senators don't understand treatment and what it involves, especially when we have the commissioner of DPNR there was in the hearing testifying for a bill that's going to cause pollution. You're a regulator. You know, why are you testifying for a bill that's going to cause pollution and violate the comprehensive land and water use plan that most of those senators voted for? Why are you there testifying against a document that you approved, that you was directly involved in, that speaks to these type of zoning issues, that speaks to taking these type of zoning issues out of the hands of politicians? It's clearly stated as that in the Comprehensive Land and Water Use Plan.
What page? Can you tell me? Do you know?
Huh?
What page you say is clearly stated in the Land and Water Use Plan?
Excuse me?
Can you say what area of the Land and Water Use Plan? Because that's a huge document. What area do you know that?
Oh, God, I've been through so many documents. I would have to go and look it up, but I think everybody should be reading it.
Yeah, well, let me know, because,
entirety at least.
People that are going to read it in entirety.
I would have to go, let me see.
You could send it to me later as well. I'm curious because, I'm not going to be able to, sit down. I'm not going to sit down and read the whole plan. I mean, I was a part of that, but if you know the dark area, then people can go.
Let me see if I could find it for you right now.
Okay. Girl, I appreciate the update. I'm just going to, so there was over 1,000 signatures saying that for Bill 36-0211, they don't want a distillery on the agricultural land. But A1 and A2 and R1 and R2. So, I mean, like you said, the senators are not, many people may not be as educated on the implications, as you mentioned, and the pollution. So just educated individuals, I feel like if they are going to do something like that, then it needs to be highly regulated. It has to have, like you were mentioning last week or 2 weeks ago about the pesticides, whatever they were using. It needs to be, that definitely shouldn't be used. Something else should be used. I'm sure there's better environmental ways of treating whatever they need. And if that's not the case, then I agree about not having these things going to our waters. I am for productivity and growth of our sectors here. The thing is that I don't want the health is as a factor that we don't consider, because we want business here. To say that we don't have this. I agree with the comments before about, things always being rejected. I am not for that, but I am definitely for the health of our people. I don't want that to be.
When you're going to have the commissioner at DPNR testifying for a polluter, testifying for a bill that shouldn't be before our Senate, and the fact that our governor could easily tell him to excuse himself and he could tell him to excuse himself. In this case, it's quite apparent that he told him to defend the bill,
Well, I don't want to speculate.
Situation.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't want to speculate what the governor did. We do know that there is a bill that's there, and that DPNR is an approval of it. So it's just so, and we will always have our differing opinions. I think the thing is just to continue to educate and bring awareness in that aspect, so people know, what.
You can't say irrespective of what DPNR did.
No, I didn't say irrespective. No, I didn't say irrespective. I said, I don't even know. I didn't use the word irrespective. I said, despite what they're saying, if what you're saying is not good for the people, then it's just for you and everybody else to continue to bring awareness to it.
Well, we're doing that, and we wish the public would call our senators or write to them and tell them kill this bill, not amend it, because it's no way it's good for the Virgin Islands.
So you want the bill,
and to be able to do that, the education is necessary. And if people want to call for another town hall meeting to see what we are talking about, we could do that. We are open and willing for that.
Was DPNR at the meeting at the town hall?
Excuse me?
Was DPNR at the town hall?
Of course not.
Oh, okay.
Of course not.
So okay. So who was at the town hall? You had 4 senators, about 30 or 40 people, and any other
no other government entity. And let me say this: I have requested documentation, the findings that DPNR found after their inspection of Prosperity Farm. I am yet to receive it. It was completed from all the way November 17th. And their excuse is that it's an ongoing investigation. If you completed your findings you're gonna what are gonna start to dig up the earth or something, or they got something under the ground to say that it's an ongoing investigation? They are hiding information from the public, and we requested it per the Freedom of Information Act, and yet to receive anything. Yet to receive it. And then the thing you have to keep in mind that farm been operating from early last year and was cited from early last year. How come DPNR have not stopped them to this date? I was at the farm yesterday on a tour, and they're distilling. They're distilling. They have the bar open. They're doing the tours, and people still have an event there. So can you trust a government that is allowing that? And so you're going to pass a bill that allows the one illegal distillery here that is behind this special interest bill, and you're going to pass that bill with amendments? People, you're asking me to educate the people, and this is what I'm doing. I am not sharing false information. These are the facts. Rainbow Beach have waste piling up behind it. You don't see the discharge at the Mahogany Road and Prosperity Beach.
Well, I'm going to take a look.
Separate this bill from Prosperity Farm because they are behind it. If you see the news, somebody just sent me with Epstein telling our governor that if you don't help us this and this, you stand to lose X amount of money. And it's the same situation with Robert Atwell of Prosperity Farm. I'm sure something like that going down here. Why our health department, our licensing department, and DPNR is not stopping that operation down there, except waiting on our senators to pass a bill. When I am saying you have to have your farmhouse, your event center, your bar, that's where they should amend the law to allow that if that's what they want. But move the distillery. Nobody's going to lose a job. A new job will be created. Transport your cane juice to the distillery. Transport your wastewater to be treated to the distillery.
Let me ask you, you told me agriculture had the individual on their show. What is agriculture saying about it?
Agriculture commissioner was supposed to testify at the hearing. He did not show up, said that he had other engagements to deal with, being it was right after the agriculture field. So he did not, he was scheduled to be a testifier. He was on the, what you call it, on the agenda, but he did not testify because he said, and he was excused by the senator, the chairman of the committee. So he was excused from that appearing.
But without him being there, he could still submit a testimony. So was there no testimony was submitted to be mentioned?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. Well, these are the agencies.
That's a very good question.
These are the agencies that need to have their input. I would be interested to know what agriculture department says about this, as it is agricultural land, and what's being used. So yeah, I appreciate the update. I feel like, continue to, educate the individuals in our community. It is up to the community to stand on what they want. I'm for progression in the island for business. If anybody knows me, that is what I am for. Definitely but I am also stand for the health, because if you tell me, and I wanted to mention this and I didn't think of it until later on, but like, if you tell me, look, Nykole, or I could say, Miss Charles, I'm going to give you $10 million. You want $10 million? I'm going to give you $10 million today, but tomorrow you'll be dead. Are you going to take that $10 million?
Of course not.
Exactly. So you're saying your life is worth more than $10 million. And so that's the same thing that I say here. We're for business. I'm for progression. Definitely want to do things the right way for our health. And the people, you can only do as much as you can do, Ms. Charles. If people don't want to show up to these town hall meetings, that's unfortunate, to get an education. But keep doing what you're doing. Your conscience is clear. And also, hopefully, the individuals would do the right thing for the health of of the people long term, as well as our, Marines, the marine life that we have on that side of the island. All right. So I will look in.
Like to say,
Go ahead.
I'd like to say this, right? I so agree with what you just said, and our health is more important than $10 million. our senator, one of our senator, and I'll call his name, Senator Viale, said to me, I said, my position is to move the distillery. And out of his mouth was, that would take away from the farm experience. So you are concerned more with some tourists or locals here having a farm experience right on that spot versus you could still have the farm experience if you move it to another place. Taxi drivers and people now going to transport from there over to where the industrial lands are and still get a farm experience. And in my eyes, I tell you, distillery is not a farm. A distillery is not a farm. That's an industrial operation. So I don't see the connection. But we all know that these people come and flaunt themselves and convince our people to ignore the local people and the local vote and the local people that have to live and survive here for the interest of somebody with deep pockets. And I again, that's all I could say. People, call the senators, write to them, let them know we want no amendment. We want this bill, this distillery to move. Move from there and then do the amendments that would allow them to legally maintain their farmhouse, farm tours, farm bar, and event space. We're not against it like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Shut the whole thing down.
I agree.
Giving them an alternative.
Yeah, I think that if they have another place to put it and it's more feasible for the health, that's and the person has the money, so they could actually buy some land and buy the land in an appropriate place and put their distillery there. If money is not an issue.
And I think really they should get punished. Them little $4,500 fine they get from DLC is nothing. Move it, spend your money. This man is a billionaire. And we trying to protect his money at the expense of our health, at the expense most of all of the industry that brings the most money in this economy. I don't know whether it's tourism or Diageo or cruise and rum, but it's a huge, huge chunk tourism. We're willing to compromise that for one already billionaire individual.
Okay.
So that he could have his little retirement wish at the expense of the Virgin Islands.
Well, hopefully we continue to progress in this area and they do the right thing in regards to, where the location of the distillery can be with all the, information provided. Hopefully that is done. So I do appreciate you giving me the updates because I was wondering about it. And I will definitely look at the bill. And, remember to send me the area of the land and water use plan so I could take a look. And I want to come down to West.
I don't have any information, any contact information for you.
Oh, I'll give you my number. I will say it on the air. So if you have a pen, I'll give it to you. And you could text me.
Go ahead.
857-575-2865.
Wait. 7, what's the first street?
857.
Oh, 857.
575.
575.
2865.
I didn't catch the last four.
2865.
2865?
Yes.
2865. Okay, got you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Charles. I look forward to the information. All right. Thanks for the update.
Thank you. You take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, there's, pros and cons. Definitely, I'm more for our health. We don't even know the ramifications of HES. So many people on the island have cancer and different things. We want to know, how does this happen? And we have such, great weather and this and that. Something is happening. So we need to be precautious. We need to be cautious about what we are allowing in regards to the health, the longevity of our people, residents and visitors alike. I am for pro-business and progression. Yeah, we definitely need to look at the ramifications. And I'll take a look at it further. But thanks for those who want to educate and, just gotta see what happens. Who does what? All right. So thanks so much. What I want to talk about real quick before I close out, the time I just start very late, but I wanted to talk about as a Black History closes as my show will be the last for the Black History for the month. When we return, we'll be in March. So which is really crazy. Can't believe it. Time is just more than flying. It's zooming. But I did want to mention about the, Black history and how we are actually creating our Black history, our history as a whole. We talk about Black history like it's only in textbooks, like something is behind us. But the truth is, Black history is not just something we celebrate, it's something we are creating every single day. It's not just about the marches, about, the inventions and speeches and, showing up to different events and mentioning, famous people. But it's every time you start a business, you mentor a child. This is history now we're creating about this, Prosperity Farm and, the senators. You are part of our history. Governors, commissioners, you are part of our history. Residents, we are all part of our history in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Okay, so when we're talking about Black history, we're talking about it as a whole. But when we're talking about our history that we're creating, we are creating history every single day. So what we do and we don't do, that is part of our history. It will be remembered and or it will cement how we are progressing or not progressing. And so, talking about that, we're talking about this issue right now. Are we going to really progress? Or are we not? In regards to the health of of the residents here in St. Croix, because on St. Thomas they don't really have that many industrial, industries. We have those here because we supposedly are big. But how about using our land and all the different resources we have to create other opportunities? I don't think that we should be just hung. What is it? There's a word I can't remember. I'd be forgetting the words I want to use, But not hung ho, something like that, something around that word. But we don't want to be just hung up on one entity to like, oh my God, it's going to do massive things for the island. We should have multiple sectors going, multiple industries going, multiple different businesses, opportunities, things that we're behind. So that we don't have to feel like we have to be behind one thing to make a dent or some kind of impact in our economy. There's so many facets. I was just talking with someone yesterday. It was a long conversation in a supermarket. When I went in there, it was late. By the time I left, it was dark. But we're talking about different sectors and people just being hung up on one thing. Yeah, we should be St. Croix. We should be supposed to be firing off in different sectors. And they were saying, oh, there's nothing here and there's nothing this and there's nothing that. And the whole time I was giving them ideas about different things that could happen. They kept saying, no, it can't. And it's a person my age. We went to school together. No, this can't happen. They sounded like when I was growing up, this can't happen, that can't happen, this can't happen. I said, look, every idea I gave you, you shut down. So what can happen? Tell me what you've thought about that can happen. Nothing. They tell me that nothing could happen here in St. Croix. And I was like, then why are you here? And I would say that to anybody. Why are you here in St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands, if you think nothing can happen besides what one thing, and it has to be one person that has to be in to make this happen? I disagree. I believe that is what we think. And if we believe something can happen and it can create it, we can make that happen. Making sure that it's in the best interest of our people as a whole, right? And not just for a select few, but for a whole. It's going to be of benefit. I asked that person that, and then they came back and they was like, you know what, Nykole, you're right. They said they did agree that they were being very negative. I said, yeah, you're very pessimistic. You sounded like the people that I grew up. It has to be one way. There are many ways that we can make things happen. All right. And so we are part of the history that we are talking about. And it can be draining when you're talking to people that all they have is negative things. But if you come in with a solution, tell me if this is not going to work. Tell me what else can work. So with this issue with the farm, distillery, whatever, okay, that doesn't work. Okay, there's an opportunity to move it someplace else, or there's an opportunity to say, hey, well, we're not going to use this, and we're going to be able to use this other type of pest or whatever they're using to treat the plants. As long as there's ways that you can move around. It doesn't have to be one way, and let's just compromise. Like, look at what, balance it out, and look at what can be implemented in not just this era, but so many areas. And we just have to open our minds that we are creating our history right now. What we do, and how we treat our islands, and what we allow is very important. And those that are in these positions, you are creating the history and the future of the territory because you create these laws, right? What is going to be your legacy? Are you going to be proud of it when you leave, right? That's my only thing. I was just talking about it with somebody else about legacy, and I'm like, yeah, it is what you leave behind. And that is the reason why. Well, that's the reason why to be in the higher positions is what you're leaving behind, and how you've progressed in the territory. Hopefully, we have that type of mindset. And in regards to that, what's the longevity and the ramifications once you're out? That is going to be, there for a long time. And if we have laws, why do we have laws and we're going against them? I mean, what's the purpose of making laws if it's not for the benefit of the people? And there's so many laws. To me, we create so many laws. There's so many laws to be amended, not just created, but amended, improved. There's so many books on so many laws in the books that can be improved. But again, aside of that, and I don't like to prolong on what is out of our control. What is in our control is to communicate, educate. That is part of our history. What is also in our control is what we do every day with our territory and our people and our places, and how we interact, and what we, just the way we upkeep, and the building structures and all of those kind of things. It's all part of our history. What are we doing about it? What are you doing about it? We, as I say always, you, me, we. And you don't always feel like it, but it's just to think about what's the right thing. And I don't know, because I have to look at the information myself, and I'm coming back. I'm like mixing everything, but I have to come back and look at what's being said, because I really am involved in things that I'm doing, and I don't always get to be involved in or know about these issues, which I'm now. And so I'm going to take a look and read about it. And hopefully, the people do this right for the territory, or for St. Croix. Because although, like I said, I want jobs and, St. Croix to, grow economically, which we were. And that's another conversation with the bird's heads and what happened to that money, where it went, where it actually was built up. But I really would like to make sure that we are keeping our health in mind first, and for firsthand. And that's part of our history. So thanks for tuning in with me, and I'm making it happen. I'll be back again next week, Wednesday, from 11 to 12. And I just want to say again, we are the history that will be talked about. It might not call your name, but you will be part of that time frame. And what did we do during this time frame to improve ourselves, improve our people, improve where we're living? I'm talking about the Virgin Islands, but wherever you're listening in from, what are you doing? All right. It's we're doing it real time. We're making history real time in the Virgin Islands, in our community, in our homes. History is being written in real time, as I mentioned. And it's not just the leaders. Miss Charles is part of the history, and whoever else is given that education, and whoever else. And I'm not just picking on these, this one project, but like as a whole, just being a part of it. Not just coming on the radio and making noise, but they saying, hey, okay, I have a solution. I have an option. I have this. I want to be a part of this. I can do this. I do respect those that do that. And we will have different opinions, but let's have the conversations. Listen to the conversations. Be respectful during these conversations. And then, so then we could come to an even ground, or even like something that could work for everybody. It's not just one way. So that's the way we can make it happen. We have to be in conversation. We need to listen to each other, and we need to actually apply what we listen to and when we research, and so we can move forward together. And it's not the big name calling. I'm not for disrespecting anybody. because you don't want to be disrespected. I heard there's a lot of disrespect happening and some videos. I didn't get to see it, but somebody told me about it. And these are not people from that's living here, you know, they're living in the States and they update me. And so while I was traveling. So yeah, people are listening and watching and they're not very happy about how we're interacting with each other. So no matter who feels what on a certain aspect or a certain topic or certain issue, we must respect each other. I say that all the time because how can you expect your children to respect you as a parent, as anything? Because I know as a child, you don't always respect or agree with what your parents say or whatever. But do you want your child disrespecting you and calling you names and all kind of stuff? They can't do that, right? So why do we do that to the officials? So regardless of the issues, let's always be respectful and to whomever we're having interactions with. It is not okay to disrespect anybody, especially if they haven't disrespected you. Now, if you disrespect somebody, and they disrespect you back, hey, you get that. But if they haven't disrespected you, then have the conversations. To me, the only people that call people out their name and stuff like that is because they cannot express themselves. They're very frustrated. I understand that, but you're not expressing yourself, and you seem like you cannot express yourself without trying to demean somebody. Stick to the topic. We are upset about the topic. We're not happy with some of the actions, but stick to the topic and keep bringing it to light. Right? No disrespect to individuals. You lose people when you start to be disrespectful. And so, yeah, again, that's all part of our history. And we are as people, we have the signage to move forward and the authority. We're the only place, one of the only places that is predominantly African Caribbean. And we're American. Let's be the example. Hopefully we can do that. And St. Croix has a lot of potential. So I just hope that we make the right decisions. All right. So anyway, that's for me, and I'm making it happen. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for the calls. And I'll be back with you next week, Wednesday, from 11 to 12. As I always say, if you don't see something happening, create it. Be the change. And until next time, keep thinking outside the box, coloring outside the lines. And remember, it's about you, me, we. So make it happen.